Hey guys, I'm Nicholas. Who here thinks that there's too much stupidity in this world?
Yeah. I think you got us all in agreement on that.
Pretty much everyone, right? So a friend and I launched a site. It's called smartup.com, smartup.com. And the goal is to make humans smarter and to fight stupidity. How we do it? So right now it's just a very simple blog that provides contextual advice on how to make your brain works better, because most humans have no idea how their brain works. This is not something that's taught in schools. It's not something that your parents know about. It just, like, no one knows about it. So for example, like in the morning, you might be more receptive about productivity tips, about how to memorize stuff, how to better learn. When you're hungry at noon, then you're more receptive to tips on what to eat in order to make your brain works properly the rest of the day. So if you provide contextual advice and kind of meet the knowledge need of the person, my bet is that people will want to consume the information. So right now, like I said, it's just a very simple blog with contextual advice. What we want to build eventually is more of a virtual coach. So pretty much a virtual agent that will help you and encourage you and pat you in the back and make you and provide you a bunch of advice on how to be smarter at work, at school. Because even the best athletes they need coach. Even like Olympians need coaches. Why? It's just that they know how to perform, but they always need someone to kind of push them maybe a little bit more. So our goal is to do the same thing with a virtual agent that will push people to just become smart. We kind of model the concept on the relation between an high school tutor and their students. Maybe because how to study stuff that students kind of know, but they really need a tutor to help them learn better. And there's so much stuff that is just not taught in school. That's why tutors have so much success, and the best tutors just work full time. They make like a ton of money simply because there's a real need for that. If you increase the average IQ of a nation by 10 points, you double the per capita GDP of that nation. So we're talking, and it's very, very hard to prove that scientifically, but that's what the economists think. So if everyone was smarter, it would be pretty much the way out of the recession. No need to spend a ton of money, just make sure that people are more intelligent, start more business, or more inspired, have more ideas, and then you kind of get out of the recession. So that's kind of my goal. It's super ambitious, and we have a lot of challenges. The main is obviously a tech challenge. How do you build an AI agent, so an artificial intelligence that will be the coach? It's going to be super hard. How do you build a platform? Right now we're on Drupal. We've thought about Ruby on Rails or other platform, but we just don't have the time to learn that, so we stuck with Drupal. There is also some content challenge. How do you make sure that people think that the knowledge you provide is credible? Super hard. But what's great is that there's a lot of scientists. So all the scientists have a ton of knowledge to share, and all the people in the businesses, they totally ignore that knowledge. So that's a good opportunity because there's a lot of super smart people who put a bunch of videos on YouTube. You just need to take them, embed them, and distribute them. So that's our goal. What do you think?
What was the name of the site again?
Smartup. So for example, right now the type of advice that we have there is something like, what are the top 5 brain foods? So it's stuff that everyone kind of knows, but if we don't have someone to repeat it to us, we just don't use that knowledge. How to improve your memory. There's one super cool video of an expert, one of the top experts on the brain, did a bunch of videos on how to improve your brain functions, and no one cares, it seems. So trying to take these videos and distribute
Do you
it.
know study hacks? Cal Newport.
I've heard about it. I think I saw some of their posts.
Yeah, he's a real smart guy.
No, I'll take a look at it.
I was gonna say if you can make it maybe a little bit more interactive in terms of like I don't know IQ tests or something like there was this game I used to play on. I don't know if it was on Facebook. It was like Brain Teasers or Brain Tester. It was an iPhone app, and you could compete against your friends, and they'll say, "Oh, he's smarter than you," or things like that. I mean, like.
So some kind of like before and after.
Yeah, and definitely like the more you do those things, the more repetition, the better you get at those games, those exercises, quick math exercises, things like that. Like being able to do complex math things in your head. I think that's really valuable, especially for people that are taking like the MCAT, the GMAT, and like all these other tests where like the GMAT you can't use a calculator. So you have to be able to do those math problems like pretty quickly on paper in your head. So exercises or techniques to attack those problems could be really useful. I saw a guy that does and he has like a lot of followers on YouTube. He does like he shows classroom, like he teaches a classroom basically virtually. He's like an Indian guy that lives in like the Silicon Valley. He did a news article down recently.
Yeah, I think that's who Bill Gates was referring to. He
Yeah.
enrolled
Okay.
his kid in that guy's math classes.
So that's actually an excellent example of content that is out there that not everyone uses. So I kind of want to take that and.
Well, if you could have like,
users.
I mean, all that in one place, that's definitely useful. I think.
How do you know what's good content and what's not good content? Do you guys have like a learning expert on your team, or anybody who's got background in this?
That's the goal eventually. So right now I'm gonna have a partnership with a high school tutor who's gonna kind of oversee the content for the high school market. As far as like general intelligence advice, I just take stuff from others and experts I know. So try not to. I mean, we don't produce any content. We just take stuff from experts and we distribute
So
it.
you aggregate.
Yeah,
So
pretty much.
one thing to maybe consider with that is if you remember like when Wikipedia first started, there was this great debate about, mostly from the people at Encarta and the Encyclopedia Britannica and some of these other sources where they had, like peer-reviewed content, it was like, this was the definitive article on World War II because a couple experts said it was. And what they found is that the masses, even though no one of them was necessarily as smart as the guy who was chosen to do this, were collectively smarter than the guy who was chosen. And it was like the sort of the same idea if you've read that book, The Wisdom of Crowds. If not, it's good. It's relevant to this discussion. But it's kind of like, even though no one of those guys is better, collectively they are. So my comment on it would be like, if there would be a way to almost include that. I mean, I know it's sort of against what you're talking about, but considering that has been shown, at least in a few cases, who knows, maybe you test it again, it's like, well, there is a guy that's just that smart, I don't know, but it's something I would definitely kind of consider in terms of considering that it's happened historically, that was, it went that way. I would look at maybe how to incorporate that.
I think one thing with getting a product out that, is it's kind of the trade-off of, do you necessarily, seems like a stumbling block right now is the AI or creating something logic that's very technically heavy. But what is the actual, is that an actual measured thing? I mean, do your users, do you have users that say, oh, I want an AI? Or could you live with, say, a bunch of regimens, like one for college students, one for professionals, one for this, and then you go, okay, this is the regimen, you're going to leave it and, take it or leave it, and maybe offer it as like a 99-cent thing on iTunes. That way you can start monetizing it. So thinking more practically rather than trying to build like this big artificial machine that is not proven with users, that may be easier. And it's also easier to roll out because nobody says, you can always go back, right? And incrementally improve your system to have more features.
So I really like the idea of monetizing that way. Right now, the business model is more of a freemium type of thing, so you can consume all the content, and if you want some personalized stuff, you hire a tutor. Pretty much.
Right.
Cool. That's good. Great comments, guys.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you. So that was all 6 of them.